Hello everyone. To continue to the previous video, this is where we are starting the Splunk search processing language, that is SPL. Okay, so as part of this video, we will try and understand. We will actually understand all the terms about Splunk search processing language, and then we will do all the other operations regarding this SPL commands. Okay, if you see here, Splunk Search Processing Language SPL is the language of Splunk platform. It is the language used to perform searches against the indexed data. With its versatile SQL like the Unix pipe syntax, SPL offers a very powerful way to explore and investigate your machine data. You usually run SPL queries using the search and reporting app that comes by default with Splunk Enterprise. You can also use Splunk REST API and command line interface CLI, okay, to run SPL queries. Okay, you can even run the REST API, that is REST API interface, that is CLI as well. The search is executed by Splunk Enterprise and the results are shown in the user interface. By employing certain commands in SPL, you can also generate reports, visualizations of your search results. Now we will look at one by one when it comes to SPL language. Okay, first of all, if you see what is syntax of SPL. The search processing language is a hybrid of SQL, structured query language, and Unix pipeline. Just like any other query language, SPL follows a certain syntax. When a query has a syntax error, it does not execute and an error is shown indicating the problem with the syntax. Let us take a look at the general syntax of SPL. An SPL query can consist of any or all other following. What are they? There you go. You see here each one of them. We will try and understand. First, we'll start with commands. What is command and what are the different commands that we're going to use in SPL language? Now, commands are keywords that execute certain functionality in Splunk. A basic command in Splunk is search. Okay, search command is a basic command. Commands can accept one or more parameters. Here are some examples of commands. Okay, what are they? If you see here, stats command, eval command, time chart, table, fields. Note, at the start of an SPL query, the search command is implied, so you don't need to explicitly type it. Okay, the search command must be specified if it comes later in the search pipeline. Okay, so you just have to keep this point in mind before you run the searches. Now, what is literal strings? Okay, after those commands section, you'll try and understand what is literal strings. You can search for any string or a phrase. If the phrase has spaces, you need to enclose these in double quotes. Here are some examples of searching for the literal string. How do you search? You can just check these all examples which are given here. Okay, and then what is key value pair? Okay, all these are the terminologies you should understand when it comes when you are learning the SPL language. Now, key value pair. When Splunk indexes the data, it converts raw data into searchable events. During the process of extracts certain key value pairs and stores them as fields. These fields are generally the default fields such as host, source, and source type. Fields can also be extracted during search time. You can use the field to filter your data. Using any key value pair is one of the most basic of significant ways of searching your data. The key must be a field in the events. Here are some examples of key value pairs. Okay, so what are the basic key value pairs that you will have to understand? There you go. You see here index equal to main, source type equal to user portal, status, results, log underscore level error. Okay, these are the things. These are just for an idea. You can learn these, and then based on your requirement, I will anyway going to show which screenshot in this course. Okay, how I use what command to be used, and how do we really use it in Splunk. I am going to show you everything as our sessions progress. All right, as of now, please understand these terms. Where do we use? What are we going to do? Now you can use the wildcard asterisk. Okay, the symbol is given here to match 0 or more of any character. This is the only wildcard support when used in literal string and as part of a key value pair using wildcard. Okay, just maybe you can take these as a scenarios, and you can see these examples just to understand the wildcard. Okay. Now we have a small note here. Using a wildcard as a first character in the string is a very inefficient. Okay, it's not suggested basically. For example, avoid searching for strings like error. Okay, quoted which is given to you here. So avoid using that. Okay, comparison of operations. How do you compare different operations here? One of the most powerful ways to filter your data is to use comparison operations to check for conditions. Using comparison operations, you can compare the values of fields. The following operations are supported. Okay, you see these operations here. These should be used based on your query that you've been writing, and make sure you do not involve in any other sort of commands here. Okay, if I move to the next thing, see here before that there's a note which you have to keep in your mind. The operations equal to end. Okay, there's a symbol are treated the same when comparing. Okay, just have this in your mind. I will anyway show you everything with screenshot with Splunk. How do you work on all these in Splunk as well? Don't worry about it. Now the boolean. Okay, you can use boolean operation to add logic for your query. The following boolean operations are supported: and, or, not. These you can call it as a boolean operations in Splunk. The boolean operations must be uppercase. You can also use parentheses of parentheses to force procedure. Okay. Functions. What are functions? Many SPL commands have functions that can utilize when using the commands. Functions typically operate and parameters you specify. Here are some examples of SPL functions. There you go. You can just check these SPL functions. All right, very important. Okay, time chart, the kind of query that you write, eval command. Okay, what are the key points that you have to understand before you writing the query? All these things you should understand. Now if you see the note, eval command calculates an expression and stores the result into a field. All right, arithmetic operations, really important topic. Arithmetic operations help with performing numerical calculations. They are generally part of a eval expression. Okay, you can see the table below which is given. What is arithmetic operation? What does it mean? How do you use it in real time? That is with an example they have given here. Okay, so this detailed explanation you can just have a look on this as well. The search pipeline. SPL utilize Unix pipeline notion. By using the pipe character, results of the left side of the pipe can be passed to the right side of the pipe. This provides an excellent way to add logic to your queries. Consider the following SPL statement. Okay, so please look at this statement. Index equal to main, source type equal to source. Okay, if I consider a scenario where you have a failed password, then you'll be writing with the username of the top command. All right, that is one. There you go. One more very important stuff depicts of a search pipeline. Okay, see here, index equals to main, source type equal to secure. This is the scenario which I have shown some time back. It is a failed password scenario, and the user in the top command we are using with for the username in the field is a percentage. Okay, and you can see the results based on your query that you have been searching for. If it is the failed password scenario where you have intermediate results table and intermediate results table here as well, and then you see the final results. All right, the search pipeline with if you see here, the as indicated in the preceding figure, that is the figure which is shown above. As you traverse through the pipeline from left to right, the results are increasingly narrowed. Okay, although in some cases you may manually add new fields by using eval, lookup, and sub searches. While troubleshooting why the SPL queries don't return the results you want, it is a good idea to keep removing the segments from right to left to review the intermediate results table. Do not worry if you don't fully understand the SPL query at this point. We will cover the commands such as stop fields later in this book. All right, that is what I've just pointed out. Don't worry if you do not get anything. Looking at this, we will anyway try and give you more about the every scenario. Okay. Now we'll navigate to Splunk user interface. Okay, how the user interface look like, and then set up configuration files and our visualizations installed in Splunk Enterprise Platform. App is the processes that we have when it comes to Splunk installation. You can install Splunk using Windows, you can install it using Linux and also Mac OS. Mac, we don't use it in general usage, which is a very rare case. We will install Splunk using Windows and Linux. The best sorry, the best way to learn Splunk is to use your own Splunk environment, preferably non-production. As you will see, searching the data you are already familiar with. But if you don't have access to Splunk environment, it is easy to download and install or a Mac. The trail includes all features of Splunk with 500 MB per day ingestion limit of 60 days. That is 2 months trial version. You get a trial version for 60 days. After 60 days, the license automatically changes to the free version, at which point certain features like uh, alerting and accessing control disabled. You can also use a Splunk Cloud Trail, which is a SaaS, software as a service offering from Splunk. If you want to install Splunk using any of these, it is even if it is for Windows or for Linux, you can follow the process. Okay. Simply follow the instructions from the um, preceding links to install and start up Splunk. The default port of Splunk Web is 8000. Okay. During the installation, during the install, you would be asked to set up the administrator user password. By default, the administrator user is called admin. Make sure to keep the credentials for the administrator user safe. Okay, you have to keep the credentials safe. Logging into Splunk. How do you log into Splunk? Log on to Splunk web interface using web browser. If you had installed the trail version on your PC or a Linux or a Mac, the URL to access Splunk web will most likely be following. Okay, so when you install, you'll see it as an URL. Okay, you can directly install this and use the Splunk. When you use it, you will see this URL, that is https colon localhost 8000. 8000 is the web port number. All right, so that is how it will be. There you go. Chapter 1 in the same scenario. If you see here, this is how it will be. Splunk. Okay, I mean the first the home page, maybe you can call it as. Okay, there you have search and reporting, and the other stuff, other things like you have product tour, add data, Splunk apps, you have a Splunk documents. Okay, there you go. From here I will try and show you scenarios and the with the screenshots. Actually, we'll discuss about that. Small note here, if you are using your organization Splunk environment, depends on how your Splunk administrator has configured access control, your home page may look different. Okay, it may look different based on your organization structure. That's what they are trying to tell. There you go. Understand a couple of components out here. Okay, this is, you can call it as a search bar, or this is also search and reporting. Okay, search bar you can call it as, and the this main stuff here, if you see here, right, this is a search bar, and this one you can call it as a Splunk bar, and then where you get all the apps out here. Okay, see here, search and reporting, current app, a label and icon, and this is where you time range picker. Okay, it is clearly shown here. If you want particular data for that particular time, is it for 24 hours, 15 minutes, okay, last yesterday or today, you can select it here. Now the search history, whatever the searches that you have done, you can just click here for search history. Okay, you can do that as well. And Splunk bar looks like this. Okay, the black bar at the top is called Splunk bar. This bar has many useful menu options. For example, you can set your default time zone using the preferences menu located under your username. The activity menu can be used to monitor the search jobs you have submitted. Look at the figure out here, right? So this is clearly given to you. App list you will have here, and the administrator, health indicator, account settings, system preferred. Okay, each and everything they have given. System wide settings. Settings is a place where you have a lot of operations that you'll be performing in Splunk, right? And activity, jobs, and trigger alerts, and search reporting user interface. Right, so this is how it will be. Someone who's learning initially, it is really helpful to know about these bars. App bar, you can see here how the app looks like. The app bar contains navigates menus available in the current app. This can be customized using configuration files bundle within the app. By default, Splunk comes with search and reporting app. Okay, this is how it is. An icon label, search bar. Okay, we spoke about it. Time picker we also have seen. Okay, time picker is something which I just explained you. The what do you call, if you want today's data or yesterday's or last 24 hours, 15 minutes, anything you can select. Okay, just go through this. Okay, search bar we have already seen this. If you want more about this, read this out. And then time ranger, also search history, we have seen all of them. Okay, so all right, so this is about all these important things before we write queries of SPL. Okay, so after you understand everything, we will start writing our first query now. Okay, so we'll keep this video till here, and I will continue in the next video, and we will start writing the first query of SPL. Thanks for watching.